Well, good evening, everybody, and can I first say that I'm delighted to be here this evening on what is no doubt an historical occasion, and can I first say congratulations to Azar and his team, and Azar especially for his foresight, his enthusiasm and his commitment to try and take this matter forward. The spirit of the Isle of Man TT races has always been one of considerable courage, commitment and, importantly, innovation. The combination of these three factors have played a significant part in the history and development of the Isle of Man TT races and of motorcycling. And the Isle of Man, of course, is more than that. It's also about sport generally, and motor sport has been a very important part of our life. The innovation and advancement that you see today at the launch of the TTXGP follows the routes first initiated in the Isle of Man in May 1904. As a result of a 1904 Act of Tynwald, and that's the Parliament of the Isle of Man, which in fact is the oldest continuous parliament in the world, the island hosted the Gordon Bennett Car Rally Trial, the British trial for the fledgling European Car Racing Championships, which, by the way, was the precursor to the modern Formula One racing championships that we all enjoy today. Cars continued to race on the island under the Tourist Trophy banner until 1922, but by then had been surpassed, I should say, by the rapidly growing interest of motorcycle racing, which had grown steadily since Rem Fowler wheeled his twin-cylinder Norton onto the start line at the first TT course, which was on St John's, which was somewhat smaller than the present-day one. And in the Isle of Man in 1907, that was when the first TT races for motorcycles were held on that course. And he won the first race with an average speed of 4 hours, 21 minutes and 52.8 seconds, which was pretty slow, but in those days was very fast. And so we are used to seeing these things develop as time has gone by. Since those early days, the leading riders, teams and manufacturers have all been part of an event which runs parallel to the development of motorsport in the United Kingdom and throughout the world. The achievements that these people and the companies involved have inspired into how we've developed have in fact brought us today to where we have the modern champions that race on the TT Mountain Circuit. And we have men like the 14 times champion John McGuinness, who set the lap record for the 37.75 mile circuit at 130.354 miles per hour during the centenary race held in 2007. Many of the leading manufacturers first cut their racing teeth on the Isle of Man, and 2009 will see Honda celebrating their racing team's 50th anniversary at the Isle of Man TT races. Mr. Honda's legacy from those early days racing on the Isle of Man can be seen around the Formula One circuits, which we see Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello being involved in. I think it's fair to say that today's TTXGP's races will need the same pioneering spirit that Mr. Honda showed over 50 years ago when he first visited the Isle of Man. And for those of you who know the history of how Honda started, will understand exactly what I mean. The mountain circuit, and that's it, just by the way, so you wonder what that line is there. That, of course, is the shape of the TT circuit on the Isle of Man, which, as I say, is 37.75 miles, goes right through the centre of the island and is on the main roads of the Isle of Man. And the mountain circuit is one of the most iconic sporting tracks in the world, and also the toughest. The leading manufacturers will tell you, and they will all tell you, that it is one of the best ways to test the durability and reliability of their machines. The mountain circuit, as I say, which is 37.75 miles of unforgiving public roads, converts into a racing circuit to hold the TT races on. The challenges are breathtaking, with riders and machines being tested to their limits. Safety, of course, is something that we take very seriously, and we invest substantially in the safety for riders and visitors to our island. And round that course of 37.75 miles, we have over 500 marshals looking after the safety of the public and the riders. Winning TT manufacturers will see an upsurge in sales following a race win, as the TT victory is still the ultimate performance endorsement of their machines. If they can win on the TT course, that's a real achievement. Winning TTXGP teams will certainly see the benefits of successful performances on the mountain circuit. They don't call the Isle of Man the road racing capital of the world for nothing. It has earned this title through decades of courage, commitment and innovation of riders and manufacturers. And motorcycling, as I say, has benefited. Myself and my colleague ministers are here this evening, and our presence being here this evening shows the importance that we give to this proposal to take this matter forward. Would like to congratulate today's modern sports pioneers, and I wish ASAR and the TTGP team, who are inspired with the same spirit as the people who first brought motorsport to the island, the best of Manx luck in their endeavours as they move forward into this new era of development in motorcycle racing. And we hope next year to witness the fruits of their commitment, development and innovation. The future of motor transport is somewhat uncertain, and there is no doubt that old and new technologies will have to be developed far beyond what we can envisage today if future generations are to enjoy the freedom that motor travel can bring, the freedom that we, of course, have all taken for granted for many years. For that to happen, the world needs innovators, it needs investors, it needs entrepreneurs, it needs imagination and vision, and people like ASAR and those of you here this evening who are developing these new technologies will be pushing the boundaries of science to enable us to develop for the future. And tonight we see that vision in the motorcycle that we see there, and in fact what has been said this evening, and I'm sure you'll hear later. We look forward to seeing TTXGP in the Isle of Man next year. Thank you.